So when we think about the brain, we rarely think of it as a muscle. We always think about ourselves in the brain and all of these problems we have and all of these issues, but no, the new evidence and science is showing us that we actually understand the brain for the first time in a completely new way. The biggest change that's happened in the last 10 years is that we can actually see inside the living brain for the first time in 7,000 years of history. We can sequence every cell in the brain and our body and every species, so we know where we've come from. And the biggest breakthrough in terms of longevity, joyfulness, happiness, is understanding the brain's really plastic, and that's the concept of neuroplasticity and the brain's ability to become healthy, strong and happy across your lifespan by certain practices that can really drive that. So this is my favourite thing to talk about, some tips for brain health and fitness. And the first thing to do to make it really simple is as soon as you wake up in the morning, I want you to just take your eyes and look out the window and take a panoramic view. Rather than going straight to your phone or some narrow view, because what you're doing is you're actually using your physiology for your favour. So you're immediately turning down your stress system just by opening your eyes wide into the open world, compared to taking a narrow view which activates your stress system. We actually understand that now. We understand that's a direct link between the way your eyes work and your nervous system that causes stress. So it's such a simple thing to do, not easy to do because we're in our habits, but it's the number one thing that can really drive neuroplasticity and a big change in your life, because you're actually starting to then get your brain to then go and look for all the evidence to show you all the good things happening in life. Whereas you do the opposite, you're setting up your brain because it likes stress more than happiness and pleasure at 10 times the rate. It's just designed that way to keep us alive. And so then for the rest of the day, your brain will always be looking for threats. It is simple, but why is it hard to do? So why aren't we doing this in the world? Why aren't we happy, healthy and strong? Why is there an escalation in an acceleration of mental health problems or people being stressed or busy and all of these things in an amazingly abundant world? Why? It's because of the way the brain's built and no one's being taught how to train their brain like a muscle. But the hard part is doing it every day because things are happening in your life, right? Stress isn't going away in life. It's really real. And so because of the way stress goes into the brain, it keeps us stuck. We go straight back to the things we learnt over a lifetime and your parents learnt over their lifetimes. Our brain is not born a blank slate. We come predetermined by our genetics, and then the way our experiences shape our early life has a big impact on our belief system. So you can see why, yes, it's simple, but to step into this new cocktail of neuroplasticity where you're changing your future that's different to your ancestors can't happen easily, can it? Because you're literally shifting into a whole new mindset and life. So no wonder people are stuck. And people like to put it on the individual and say, if only they did this, if only they had more willpower. But when you understand how the brain works, that's just not possible because you have to train the brain first to make it possible for people. It's the first step.